One, it is so glad to be back amongst the living, to be back with you all, to be clean and free from drugs. And I thank God. We're going to open up with a moment of silence. My God. My God, my God, my God. Hey, y'all, hey, y'all, hey, y'all. Oh, my God, it's been a busy week. I want to give a real big shout out today to some counselors that's really been working with some peoples I know. And I don't even have to know them, just for them helping people's, inpatient and outpatient, thank the counselors, thank the therapists, thank everyone who plays a part in changing people's lives. Recovery has something great. It will restore what's been broken. It will heal the soul spiritually. It will get you to connect with the God of our understanding so naturally. And I thank y'all. Hey, Latrice, baby, I thank y'all. See, recovery has been a blessing in all of our lives. Not just my life. Other people's got testimonies. Other people's done grew. Other people's done found the way. My subject for the day is something very important. Very important to me. We learned something new about ourselves because of the drugs. And we're going to get into that. Shout out to anybody celebrating clean time. Shout out to the ones that struggled and found a new way to live. Shout out to the ones that's going to come in, because you're going to come in. The pain going to get so great, you're going to come in. And I thank God for that. Sometimes we all always wonder why we were struggling and what caused us to do the things we did. But we're going to talk about that tonight, because it's a reason why we stayed in pain. It's a reason why we didn't want to change. It's a reason why we kept bumping head. It's a reason why we kept making U-turns after U-turns and wasn't turning in the right way. It's a blessing to be new again. It's a blessing what the drugs taught us. It was supposed to break us. You hear me? It was supposed to break us. But in the midst, it taught us something. To the ones that lost a loved one, mother, son, daughter, niece, nephew, cousin, grandmother, granddaddy, to the disease of an addiction, to the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program, or I throw my hands, I give my hands to you, because that was the greatest gift we could have gave ourselves by coming out of the streets, out of the danger zones, out of our minds. We have to learn, and some of us went through something to learn to get to where we at today. We learned something. What did I learn? What did we learn? First of all, we learned that the drug of addiction is a disease. And it's out to kill, and it's out to hurt, it's out to take, it's out to keep us from feeling good. It's out to destroy us. It's out to let us keep hitting rock bottom over and over again. See, I can only tell y'all what it did for me. You all know what it did for y'all. Everybody has a story when it comes to the disease of an addiction. But I had to learn. I had to learn that, we have to give up something in order to find something new. We have to give up something in order to learn how to say no to drugs. Say, what did we learn? What did we learn new? Well, we learned that we don't have to use no matter what. Because I'm still on the no matter what. We still on the no matter what happens. We still on that. That'll never go away. We can't use no matter what happens in our life, what sadness, what hurt, what denial, what broke us, what is trying to break us. We had to learn something new about ourselves. And I was thinking, I said, when God gave me that, I said, God, what did we learn about ourselves? We learned the value in our thoughts, in the change of thinking. We learned how to deal with hurt. We learned how to captivate ourselves to try to find out better ways to work out a situation. We learn how to say no to drugs. We learn how not to use drugs no matter what happens in our life. What else did we learn? We learned about respecting ourselves, renewing ourselves. We learned about how to be patient. We learned about how when things ain't going our way, sometimes we have to move out the way. We learned about we can't manage and control everybody else's thought, everybody else's thinking. It's a lot of hard work to work on our own thinking. We learned from using drugs. Something that was meant to kill us, destroy us, to break us, but we made it out to learn something new. And I learned a lot of new stuff about me that I never took a look at before. And I'm sure y'all did too, because using drugs had us in a fetal position sometimes to not care about ourselves, to not care about how we live and how we think. So recovery, when I got into recovery and learned about the disease of an addiction, which I always tell you I hate this disease because it's still doing what it's supposed to do. It's still killing and destroying and captivating more newcomers. The ones that's struggling is captivating them, but somehow or another we're going to pull y'all in. When that pain get great enough, when you get tired of disappointing yourself, when you get tired, see, that's what I love about, sometimes hitting bottom is a blessing. Hitting bottom, hey Sharon Macklin, good to see you. What I learned about in recovery is that if you don't change, what do you think gonna change? If you don't change the old ways of the way you think and the way you was thinking, what is going to change? So when I said we learned something new about ourselves, and what I learned and what we learned, because we broken don't mean we have to stay broken. It's because we hurt, we don't have to continue to hurt. Because we hit bottom, we didn't have to stay at bottom. We didn't have to stay there. Somewhere we found a way to get back up. We found a way to get back up off of that bottom and ask for some help. See, that's one of the new things I learned about me is that a mouth don't get fed if it don't ask. I had to learn how to ask for help. I had to learn how to want to refurnish this old way of thinking. I had to learn that. And when I was driving, I was telling people sometimes, it's only one of me. And sometimes even in recovery, when peoples are pulling, my daughter asked me today, she was like, your phone been ringing all day. Disappointments, laughing, happy. We go in stages when peoples are pulling on us. We go in stages and people don't really realize what they're doing, but I'm the one that always trying to help, and I'm the one always, giving advice when they ask me. I'm the one that's always listening, to having a listening ear, because somebody did all them things for me. So I had to learn that, learning something new about ourselves, because the drugs taught us. The drugs taught us through all the damage that it done to us, to all the damage that we caused ourselves. We learned from it. And I'm so glad that I am a recovering addict. And I'm so glad we know what we can and cannot do. Now, you can keep on playing Russian roulette if you want to. You can keep on bouncing in and bouncing out, bouncing in and bouncing out, and think it ain't gonna get you. Life shows up through drugs. I know, because life showed up for me. And I paid a price. I paid a very familiar price that you all know about to keep using drugs. And I found myself saying today, I said, God, you have a good sense of humor, to the God of my understanding, that you already knew some wasn't going to make it. Some going to die trying. And some going to die in the uses of using drugs. Shout out to the parents. To me. Shout out to when we lost loved ones due to drug addiction. And everybody have a story that they left with due to their loved ones leaving here. Some of us wasn't there. Some of us really wasn't close. Some of us was hurt when we lost our loved one. I lost my son to pain pills, and I tried to be there for some time. In our trying, sometimes people just won't let you in. Just like I didn't let nobody in. And I was thinking that God's grace and His mercy have shown us something new due to the drugs of an addiction. How? What did it show me? It showed me I ain't got to use no matter what. It showed me how to get a connection with the God of my understanding and keep it there. Don't pick Him up when we get ready. Pick Him up all the time. What else did we learn about ourselves due to drugs? What did drugs teach us? It taught us that it's a disease of an addiction. It taught us that it's it taught us that it's a dependency of chemicals, of drugs that we put in. It taught us that it's supposed to do the things that it do to us. Because if it was good for us, we wouldn't have no reason to move on and try to stop and get our lives back together. We come to a time in our lives that we must surrender. Hey, cousin. Pam. I'll see you Sunday too. We learned something new about ourselves because of drugs. What did drugs teach us? Well, drugs taught us to take accountability, even on how we're feeling. I had somebody close to me say, and I've been thinking about her, she said, it's been a long time since I smiled and laughed. And that stuck with me all night. Because I've been in that spot too. But sometimes we forget that we didn't have something to smile and laugh about until the grace of God had to show us that, even though we clean, we still got feelings. We still got emotions. We still have to kind of find our way through as we recover. And I thought about her. And she know who I'm talking about. I thought about her and I went into immediately praying to the God of my understanding, because when a person says something like that to you, some people wouldn't pay that no attention. But I hear and I listen to what people say. And I knew how and what she meant. But see, we learned something new about ourselves because of the drugs. How we can feel without the drugs. How we can fix a situation that we thought was so devastating and broken. How we can fix it along with the God of our understanding by not using drugs. And I had to think and I had to learn. And when God gave me that, when the God of my understanding, see, sometimes the best gift that God gives me is when I'm driving. It's just me and him. Say, Renee, what did y'all learn about using drugs? We learned that no matter what happens, we have to maintain our sobriety. No matter who hurt us or no matter who lost. Sometimes I feel broken because of mine. Some days I can be just doing good and all of a sudden I get a phone call and they don't know that the phone call I got, I'm already going through just missing my mother and my son and my boyfriend. But they tell us that we must continue life journey without the use of drugs. And I love that because the drugs taught me what I will not do no more, what I would never pick up again. I never go back to that disease of an addiction. Because the drugs taught me what not to do. It taught me a lot about ourselves. How we love ourselves, how we start nurturing ourselves, and how good things start coming to us, and how good things come to people who wait, and that's patient. I didn't have patience, and I had to really, hey, Daryl, good to see you. I had to really work on myself to know that I ain't nothing. We ain't nothing like we were. We ain't nothing. It's no way we can be the same way we was when we was using and what we are today. Hey, Raphael. I had to learn that. And I learned by surrendering. Surrender is a big word. To me, surrendering means, okay, I surrender. Drugs you want. You thought. I had to surrender. That's a big word. I had to surrender to everything. I had to surrender sometimes through my thought. I had to surrender through my thinking. I had to surrender to the God of my understanding. I had to get my hands off the wheel and let him take control, because long as he got control, he gonna help me drive. So I had to learn something. So that's why I said, what did we learn? We learned something new. We all learned something new because of the drugs. What else did I learn? What else did I learn? I learned I don't have to settle for anything, when I used to settle for everything. Well, what do you mean, Renee, settle for everything? I remember I used to go out and drink, and I didn't want to drink just to please somebody else. I don't have to do that. I remember how I used to let people run over me because I wanted to feel inferior and feel like I was on top of the world just to fit in with somebody else. But the drugs taught me one thing. I am me. I learned something new because of you. I learned something new because of the disease of an addiction. I learned how I can say no. I can let you go. I can surrender. I can learn how to be accountable for my own actions. I learned that. Because I wasn't accountable. We wasn't accountable when we was using. We didn't care who we was hurt. We didn't care who we hurt. We were selfish. We only cared about ourselves. You know, we didn't know that we got a family, or we got a woman or a man or kids that love us. We didn't think about them when we were getting high. It was all about us in the midst of an addiction. So, when I look at what did the drugs, what did we learn, or what did we learn from using drugs, we learned a whole lot. We learned that I am somebody that I'm not like I used to be. I learned that I had to make a decision to turn my life over to the care of God as I understood him, as we understood him. I learned how to move on. I learned how to not store the reservations of me even thinking I want to drink, or even thinking I got to be with somebody else that drinks. My recovery speaks for me. Your recovery, your stop using. You know, when we look back over our lives, and I remember how my son battled with them pills. I remember. My son was very handsome, light-skinned, a big old teddy bear. Big teddy bear. Wouldn't hurt a flea. Worked his butt off all his life. I struggled with him. I struggled with him because he didn't know how to let go. He didn't know how to surrender. Them oxycodines, and you know, is the blood is on a lot of people's for them oxycodines. But when he got his thought right, when he got his thing together, God must have told him, I'm ready, son. I'm ready for you now. Because God sent him home to me to go to sleep and never wake up again. I was sad. I was sad. Hey, Stella, good to see you, Stella. I was sad. I was sad. In my mind, you had the greatest hero, but he finally got it. And when he got it, he was called on. But the drugs taught me to be, see the drug, one thing that I love about what the drugs did, it taught me I don't have to give up on myself at any given time of the day or night. I still got to stay connected. I still got to have a destination of what I'm doing in my life and where I want to go and what I want to be. See, I didn't have all that. The drugs taught me that. So when I said we learned something new about ourselves because of the drugs, we learned how I don't have to settle or fit in no more to please nobody else because I always need to please me. I didn't think I would ever get to that point in life. Heavy, I always ate I always ate. When it wasn't drugs, when it wasn't weed, it was alcohol. When it wasn't alcohol, it was pills. When it wasn't pills, it was depression. When it wasn't depression, it was anxiety. When it wasn't anxiety, it was food. I always had some kind of habit. And through the grace of God, weighing 504 pounds, he still allowed me to live and get some time in without using drugs. And to be on here to tell you, no matter what happens in our lives, we use because we want to use. We use because we don't ask for no help. We use because we fit in. We use because stuff ain't going right for us. We use because we've been raped. We use because we've been molested. We use because we've been denied. We use because we've been hurt. We use because we wanted to use. I use because it felt good. Yeah. I use even when I didn't want to use. I popped pills when I didn't even want to pop pills. I drank until I was pissy drunk. And I couldn't even tell you what happened. I woke up in beds with men that I knew nothing about and they knew nothing about me. But that disease of an addiction will take you there. It'll take you where you think that you are inferior. You the mess. And then Satan, that's what he wants. So I had to learn. What did I learn from using drugs? What did it teach us? What did we learn from it? We learned that we can battle with the hurt. Can't use no matter what. We learned that things is going to happen. But we have a mind now to where we can figure things out without using, without drinking, without popping a pill, without shooting up. I learned so much about me that I didn't even notice before when I was calling myself living my best life. What do you mean, Renee, living your best life? Yeah, I had all the cars. I had the money and jewelry. I had, that's why I tell people, don't get caught up in the fame and don't get caught up in the money and the cars because, honey, you'll lose it. You will lose. And the sad part about it is that you won't even see it coming. It'll be gone before you know it. So the drugs taught me a valuable lesson about me and about you. It just ain't just about me. It's a we thing. It ain't just about me. Don't ever get it twisted. It ain't about me. A lot of times I use me as an example of what God has done for me. And if it wasn't for the drugs that helped me, yeah, it looked like it was a rough shot. It hindered me. I hit bottom. Health problems. It did it all. But when I did this word called surrender, it was all that's what God wanted. That's what he was looking for. That's what he was hoping that he gained out of me having a personal relationship with him. He wanted me to surrender. He wanted me to know the difference about surrendering. Surrender means you ain't never going back. Surrender means if you do go back, you know how fast to get back in. Hey, Caroline, hey, girl. I wouldn't wish drugs on nobody. I wouldn't wish the heroin. I wouldn't wish the pills. I wouldn't wish the anxiety, the depression, the mental illness. I wouldn't wish that on nobody. I went through it all. And guess who was the best teacher for me? The drugs. The drugs taught me something very, very valuable about using. And what I learned about using is that it get us while we already down. The drugs ain't to build us up. It's to lie to us and fool us. So, how did drugs teach us something? What? What you say? What you mean? What you mean? Do y'all know what we went through to get here? Do you know what we went through to walk in them rooms? Do you know what we went through to sit in a hospital for 28 days and to learn about a disease of an addiction that we knew nothing about? Do you know that we went through something when we had to cry and we had to get down on our knees and we ain't using? Do you know the urges that we went through when we was trying to go through? Do you know how the drugs had captivated us to think that we wasn't nothing, that we wasn't valuable, that we didn't know our worth? We just was existing due to the drugs and alcohol. But I tell you what, every day I thank God. I said, God, hey, God, I thank God for letting me go through the challenge and the things of even me thinking that I wanted to take my life. See, every negative thought, you're going to get a positive thought when you don't use the drugs and alcohol no more. Me wanting to kill myself. Me getting shot in my face with a 357. Me getting on dialysis. Me just wanting to give up. But you know what? Wanting to give up made me wanting to get up and get up and give up. Wanted to give up made me wanted to get up. And then when I got up, oh boy, somebody in trouble, because I'm a whole different person now. I ain't taking no wooden nickels. All I can tell you, I ain't gonna never use no matter what. I ain't popping no more heroin. I ain't doing no more pills. I ain't doing no more drinking. Hey God, I surrender. What is I'm surrendering? I'm surrendering to everything. I'm surrendering to brokenhearted. I'm surrendering to somebody hurting me or somebody pretending that they love me. I'm surrendering. I'm surrendering, God, to depression. I'm surrendering, God, to anxiety. I'm surrendering, God, to drugs. I respect drugs enough to stay away from the drug. The drug is too powerful for me. I can't deal it. I can't deal with it. I don't want it. I don't need it. I found me another friend. I found the God of my understanding ain't doing nothing. Once you come in and you start working on yourself, he gonna keep on blessing you and blessing you and blessing you. But some people think because we lose a loved one. I ain't gonna say people's, I'm gonna talk about me. When I lost my mother. When I lost my son. But then I had to look at a God. Why? Okay, God, look. Hey, my mother, other than you, God, was my everything. I thank God that I knew my mother. God, thank you for letting me have her that long. God, thank you. I didn't know you was going to take her, but the drugs taught me how to accept the things that I cannot change, and I can change the things that I can. That's what the drugs taught me. The drugs taught me that I ain't got to use no more when I'm in a deep, low down. When I'm in a deep, low down hurt. How do y'all know what deep low down mean? Let your mother die on you. Let your son die on you. And you think I ain't grateful? You think I'm going to go back to some drugs that you almost destroyed my life, destroyed your life, had you up and down? Do you know the things that we went through to get that hit? Do you know things we went through to go out there and drink? You know, I went through some, ooh, man. Why when I was drinking, I thought I was the best driver on the street? Why? If I'm pissy drunk, why do I think I'm the best driver on the street? Because he wanted me to think like that. The disease of an addiction wanted me to kill somebody or to be hurt or me hurt myself. But common ground taught me no matter what we go through, and we gonna go through something clean. You know why? Because the drugs taught us that we can endure it. We might not like it. We might have to go take some me time. We might have to go and sit back. But ain't nothing in the world gonna ever break us like the drugs did. Y'all can say what y'all want to. The drugs broke me. Physically, mentally, emotionally. The drugs did its job on me. And why in the world would I ever want to give up the lifestyle I'm living now? Because the lifestyle I'm living now is honest, open-minded, and willing to learn even more. So I tell you, the drugs taught us a valuable lesson. How messed up we was. In our thinking, in our behavior, in our impulsiveness. It taught us what we needed to learn about us. You know, and it's, you know, even before I used, let me tell you what the drugs did. Even though when I wasn't using, I still missed the signs of the things that I really didn't find out or know about me. And I wasn't even using. I was just missing in action. I wasn't using. Hurt people's. I was hurt. I'm guilty. I'm broken. I'm hurt. I don't know where to put these feelings at. But the 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous program taught me the way how to get involved with me. Get involved in tune with reality. And it's crazy because sometimes you think that it ain't nobody in the world. You know, I'm going to tell y'all this. One day, my son told me, we was talking, and he said, Mama, I don't think you worthy. I don't think, how did he put it? I don't think no man is worthy of you. So I called a couple of my friend guys, and I'm like, that really disturbed me because he said it with so much grace and power. Ain't no man worthy of you. And I said, why not? Because they not. And that's how he left it. So I called a couple of my buddies. You know, I got a lot of man friends, and I called a couple of my man friends because it came from a man. And I said, you know, my son said something to me. He said, ain't no man worthy of you. And he said, well, Renee, what's the problem? I said, because it was the way he said it. He didn't try to manage and fix it up and mold it or nothing. He just said it to me. He said, Renee, that's the highest honor that a son can give to his mother. And what he's saying is, he watched you. He watched where you came from. He know how loving and kind you are. He know your heart. And he don't want to see nobody break it. He don't want to see nobody come in and hurt you. So you ain't worthy of them, mans. I'm like, what you say? What? I I didn't take it like that. He said, but he gave it to you like that. The highest honor that any son can tell their mama. And I started looking at my son. And I thought about that. When we change, when we really change, don't none of our loved ones want to ever see us hurt, because they know how much we worked on change. But sometime in life we got to go through the pain and the hurt in order to get the message. We got to cry sometimes. I've cried many times. Ready on this site? Didn't want to, but I couldn't help it and I couldn't stop it. I've cried many times. I want everybody to know I'm human. I feel just like y'all feel. I'm tired of getting hurt. I'm tired of people thinking they can do what they want to say, what they want to say. And I had to learn to get some acceptance that I can't control nobody other than me. That was a valuable lesson in doing drugs, because I trusted everybody. I fed in with everybody. Where they said get in where you fit in, where I thought I had to live that way. I had it all. Everybody liked to hang with me because they know if I was getting high, they was going to get high too. I was a giver even in my using. But I had to learn my boundaries. It's a boundary you cannot come into our lives with. It's a boundary that we have set up for ourselves from using drugs and alcohol. We have to have the stability to know where is our boundaries and where are they going to always be. Is it going to always be a boundary? It has to be. Because when I got out of my boundaries, I kept using. People say, no pain, no gain. That ain't true to me. Because pain is a gain. Let me tell you why. Drugs was pain. Not nurturing ourselves was pain. Spending our money, our bills, our car notes, our house note was pain. Not going to the doctor to see about the inside of our body was pain. But through all that, did I gain? Yes, I did. Because pain taught me what I will not go through no more. See, that's all due to drugs. Drugs should have been taught us so much that we should know pain when we see it. We know we can't change pain. Only thing we can do is not feed into the pain so long to where we go back to the using of drugs. When people say no pain, no gain, not meaning no harm, Stella, baby. But I hear people say that, and that, to me, that just, no, yes, yeah, no pain, no gain. We got to have pain in order to gain. We got to have pain in order to wake up. So you was right, in a sense, Miss Stella, baby. We got to get pain. Pain is what brought us through. Pain is what gonna keep us standing. Pain is what gonna keep us aware. We aware when we know we in pain. We aware when we know that somebody done caused pain. Or we done caused pain to somebody else. See, I truly don't ever want to cause pain to nobody. Because I lived pain. I stayed in pain. I gave pain. I nurtured pain when I didn't nurture myself. I kept using. But when we find a new way to live, you ain't supposed to be the same. And what that means, Miss Renee, well, what that means, we gonna cry, we gonna hurt, We might hurt so bad. I hurt it so bad. We might hurt so bad. But did we pick up? Did we use? Did we find ourselves in somebody's bar? Did we find ourselves in somebody's dope house? Did we find ourselves shooting up? Did we find ourselves giving up? Pain has taught us who we are. We have natural feelings. Today can be good, tomorrow can be, and the next couple of days can be hell on water. But I learned one thing. I ain't got to feed it with drugs. I ain't got to take no alcohol. I ain't got to do none of that. I ain't got to get in no deep depression. And let me tell you something. Some of us, we are known to get in depression. Let me tell you why. Don't ever think because you get clean that you don't get depressed. And if anybody tell you you do, they lying. Depression is a sign of awareness. We know we in a place that we ain't supposed to be there too long. We will visit that. We will visit the stress. We will visit the depression. We will visit the anxiety. But when you ain't using the chemical dependency of drugs, it's awareness to let us know, check in, Renee. You got to check in. You got to see what's going on. You got to know something is, why am I all over the place? Why am I? Where am I at? Where am I? Come on, I got to swim. And I'm not a good swimmer, so I'm swimming right now. I got to find which way am I going? Am I going left or am I going right? But don't, hey, go left and go right and end up going straight. That happens to me a lot of times. That happens to me a lot of times. Hey, Carmen, good to see you, baby. That happens a lot of times in life. Clean. And sometimes the natural of peoples, people say, I don't like fake peoples. And I'm going to be honest. I do not like fake peoples. I don't like people that want to get in front of people and act like they got all the answers, act like they superwoman, act like they such and such. I don't like them kind of people. And they say, why? I was them peoples. And I know I can see fakeness in peoples. And when I see fakeness in peoples, I got to get up and I got to move around. Because, see, that's a familiar place that I used to be in. And I can't stay there. I can't deal with you. I can't have you in the presence of my circle. I can't have that. I can't have nothing fake. If you can't bring it to me 100, if you got to hurt my feelings to keep it real, hurt my feelings. But don't be fake. I was fake for so long, I kept faking myself to think that I wasn't no crackhead, I wasn't no dope fiend. And so you can't tell me about fake people. When I see fake people, I can sense it. Spiritual people that got a connection with God, God gonna show you everything. And if you ain't there, try to get there because that's the best feeling in the world. I'm always be a giver because he gives me so much. I mean, that man that I call the God of my understanding, he just keep on blessing me, blessing us, blessing me, blessing you, blessing me. You get a blessing today, I got a blessing yesterday. Oh, we both got a blessing today. Oh, people don't look at stuff like that. People don't look at stuff like that. I look at everything. I take one thing the drugs taught me, not to take anything for granted ever again. Losing it all meant nothing to me when I got clean. Did you hear me? Losing it all meant nothing to me when I got clean. If I had to kind of start all over again, and I was okay with it. I was okay with it. Starting all over again because I know what my rock bottom was. What was yours? I know where he took me from. Don't you ever forget. Don't y'all ever forget every blessing that you wake up and you can talk, and every person you see. You know, I saw a guy today and we was talking. He was at the hospital and this man didn't have not one leg. He didn't have no legs. And I asked him, could I pray for him? He said, yeah, I can always use some prayer. See, stuff like that. Stuff like that. What we used to take for granted. I take nothing for granted. Hey, recovery has taught me that I'm worthy to pick my friends. Recovery taught me how to let go of certain people that don't mean me no good. Okay, all right. What else did recovery teach you? What else did the disease of an addiction tell? It tell the disease of an addiction, everything that it took, everything that it stole from me, I'm getting it back. I want it all back. I want the joy back. I want the peace back. I want the humbleness back. I want the patience back. I want the accountability to my action of what I might do or say. I want to love again. I don't want to talk about nobody. I don't want to judge nobody. All them things, that's what the drugs taught me that I don't want to do no more. Yeah, I'm a loner. Anybody know me? I'm a loner. All right, when you see me, it's me and God. I don't need nobody. I don't need to be in the front. I don't need to be. I can stay in the back. You know, when I was using, I stayed in the back. I stayed isolated. I stayed withdrawn. I stayed from around peoples. You know, so I'm okay being where I'm at. I'm okay knowing that I found my worth. We find our worth in recovery. We find it. If you stay clean and stop using, you're going to find it. And then when things start happening and changes start coming, God going to start connecting you with good peoples. He going to connect you even with something that he already knew that you needed. I tell God all the time, I say, God, when you want to send me somebody, I ain't looking. God in heaven knows I ain't looking. I stay too busy. But when you get ready to send me somebody, let me realize that he know about you. Let me know he working on something. Let me know he just like me. He been broken. He in pieces. And he trying to find his way. Send me that kind of person. Send me that kind of person that you know that's been broken and that's been lonely, that's been hurt and abused. Send me that kind of person. So me and that person will have something in common. Thank you, baby. I never would have thought that he would still have me alive today. After the things I did to me, the abuse, the neglect, lying every day. But the drugs taught me something valuable that I ain't got to use no matter what happens. The drugs taught me I used because I was running. I used because I needed a familiar place to be in where I can feel that I have escaped. But one thing about that ugly drug that I didn't like, the very thing that I was taking to escape came back to me again and again and again. I thank God for every day he wake us up. I thank God for the legs and feet. I thank God for the pills I have to take care of this kidney. I take nothing for granted no more. Life is a gift. And if he allowed you to stay clean, to see some hurt, like burying our mother. Pam, no, burying our mother. Burying our brothers, burying our sons. But we didn't use. That's what drugs taught me. What not to do. Because everything I did using drugs, I don't do it no more. Ain't nothing gonna take me back to that pain and misery. Well, why y'all make yourself look like y'all having a good time, pain? Why y'all look like y'all was having a good time running? Why you look like you had it all and you thought you was going running, pain and running, neglecting. Come on, Renee, say that. Running, neglecting, pain. Anybody know me? I don't hang with nobody. And if I tell you I love you, I do. That's words that I don't play with. Hey, Ralph Jean, good to see you, honey. Don't play with it. See, even when you clean, you're going to run into some people that ain't where you at yet. And it's your job to tell the story, to send a message, to give a message, so they can hear it. Now, once they hear it, it's up to them. And I can't do nobody else's recovery. I can't work nobody else's recovery. The only recovery I can work is my own. You know. But I know for a fact, through the grace of God, through the God of my and our understanding, is that he never gave up on us. Even in the bad, even in the ugly. He never gave up on us. And I'm so glad that he ain't like men. You know how many people gave up on me when I got on drugs? Do you know how many friendships I lost when I got on drugs? Do you know how many people made me feel like I was terminating them, being around them when I got on drugs? And here's a man that I can't even see, that still loved me through the ugly, good, and bad. And you think I'm going to let anything interfere in that again? No, I love that man. I love the God of understanding. Because he helped me get a rude awakening. He helped me see that I am better than my thoughts. I say that all the time, because our dirty thinking can cause us to do some dirty things. Our dirty thinking can cause us to stay in pain. Our dirty thinking can get in depression and keep us there. So I am bigger than my thought. And I had to learn how to get like that. Just because I'm saying it to y'all didn't mean I didn't go through something to get to where I'm at today. Y'all don't know what we go through when we ain't no trying, when we clean. I go through something. Seem like I go through so much. Seem like I go through so much. Seem like I go through so much. But I don't use. Some days we don't even know how we made it to the next day. We know we didn't use. But through our mind and the stressfulness and the thinking of how people can do you, or how so-called good peoples, phony peoples, I can't deal with them kind of people. Them kind of people's kept me getting high. So I have to move around. God has worked on me. When we tell you that God has worked on us, he worked on us. Because the things that we used to do to get some drugs, and we don't do that no more, that's called cool selling. The things that I used to download, download, the things that I used to got away with it, the things, you mean I did that and lived to talk about it? I played Russian roulette with my life in the influence of the drugs and the alcohol. You remember I was out there in the world in the danger zone, playing tricks on people, stealing from people, lying to people, and I still made it. And you think I want to give up what I done learned from the drugs, that I would go back to the drug? You got to be out of your mind. So you got to be out. Hey, do me any kind of way. Say whatever you want to say. It ain't gonna break me, because once I found the tools to use to deal with the drugs and the alcohol and the pills, I ain't never going back. On my deathbed, I'll never go back, because he's been too good to us. You have to know goodness when you see it. Just like we knew the lies when we saw, just like we knew the deception when we saw, just like we knew the denial when we saw. We knew all that. So the drugs did teach us something. It taught us about humility. Come on. Come on, Renee. Ooh, you said something now. Humility. Ooh. Oh, God. Drugs taught me about impulsiveness. God taught me how to deal with hurt. God taught me how to deal with loneliness. See, these are things that I didn't allow the drugs to let me feel, because I took the drugs so I couldn't feel. You feel me? This ain't no joke. This disease ain't no joke. People's is dying. Hey, Dexter, good to see you, big bro. We done came a long way, and it's an old school. Some of my peoples, like my cousin Pam on here, you got Stella, you got some more peoples on here that I know that's been clean, that's been around me. We all done went through something in recovery. But the greatest gift for me is when I go to the meeting and I see my family. I have a whole nother set of families. They call spiritual families. They call NA families. I never had that kind of family before. All the family I had, or the friends I knew, they was dope fiend, crackhead, alcoholics. They was liars, thieves, stealers. I had a group of friends, but we kept it like on the down low, like we still was the mess. But I had some unfortunate peoples around me. And then the peoples I got around me today is loving and kind. They all been there, done that. We paid the price. And don't never let nobody tell you we didn't. In our thinking, in our physical meaning, in our mental meaning, we paid the price. The drugs tried to take us out. And somehow or another, God always found a ram in the bush, like my cousin Pam told me, a ram in the bush to help us out. And I am so grateful for that. I am so grateful knowing that I don't ever have to use even when the pain get too great. And it was a time in my life, for the ones that know, it was a time in my life when I lost my mother that I wanted to jump off the 35th Street Bridge. I went there to jump off. That was a pain I couldn't fathom. I didn't know how to deal with not being able to talk to my mother again, or be able to call her at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, or she saw me change. She seen me change my life. And it was a cop that saved my life that night. It was 2 cops came. The white came, that man said, step back. I got it. I was at that point. So can't nobody tell me some pain is so great that you will forget that you in that pain. I thank God for that cop. I didn't tell nobody that for a long time. My mother was my best friend. But I had to figure some things out. I had to figure it out. I didn't want to live here without my mom. I didn't. I just was everywhere. I had to call my sponsee girls. I had to call the high steppers girls. They showed up too. They showed up for me. They showed up for me because I was in danger zone, y'all. Clean! When I tell you I was clean for over 2 decades at that time. We learned something new about ourselves because the drugs taught us. The drugs taught us a lot of things. It taught us that we are valuable. And most addicts or recovering addicts are loving and kind souls. We know what it is to be broken. We know what it is to be saddened. We know what it is to be lost. We know what it is to be hurt. We know what it is to want to die. Yeah, we've been there. So can't nothing break me now. Can't nothing break me. When I lost my mother and my son, I was lost. But it took some real good people in recovery to come to the mission. Come to see about me. Cousin Pam, I thank you. I thank you. Branch, both of the Blanche, Michelle, I thank y'all. Y'all don't know what y'all done for me in the midst of me hurting. And when we clean, we get scared because it's an unfamiliar feeling that I had never experienced in my life, and I never hope I have to experience again. But I did. And I did with my son. So I'm at a point now, you know what, come on, Satan. You can't break me now. Every curveball you done threw at us, every storm you done put us in and we got out, you ain't no breaking us. We know you gonna show up. You know, I'll be ready for him. When the phone rang and there's some good news, I never took news like that. I always would be hollering and screaming, but I'm like, okay, what? That was never me. But the drugs taught me how to be me. How to sacrifice my feelings. How to nurture my feelings. But God has been good. Because there's a lot of old timers on here. And we all know each other. All the hundreds of people that get on here, I know all of them, some of them, most of them. And every week is some new peoples, there's some new texts, there's some new messages. And that's why God does nothing that's not good. Everything he does is good. And I thank y'all for, if ain't nobody told you they love you, tell them that Miss Renee says she love you. And you ain't never got to use. And if you are using, and if you are struggling, stop. Because you're going to struggle one time and you ain't going to be able to tell us about it. Can't keep using and think you're going to get the same results. Because drugs will hurt you, break you mentally, emotionally, and physically. It's nothing good about drugs. Nothing good about alcohol. It's nothing good about any chemical dependency of drugs. And I did it all, from cough syrup to pills, I did it all. They called me a junkie. Okay, I was that. Called me a crackhead. Oh, I definitely was that. Called me a dope fiend. Yeah, we visit that too. We know what that meant. But when God come into your life, the God of our understanding come into your life, he give us a reason to fight. He give us a reason to stand on something. If you don't stand on something, you're going to fall for anything. You have to learn how to be... Remember I told y'all that? I had to take a deep breath. Especially when that white lady was trying to tell me... I guess she was trying to be a dictator. And they want me to speak at the end of May to these rich kids. And I had to take a deep breath. what I say, I always ask God to guide my tongue. No matter what. Before I get on here, after I get on here, God, let me be there and help somebody. Because recovery is real. And it'll show up when you ain't even thinking it's going to show up. It'll show up through a friend coming over that wants you to drink. It'll show up through a girl that you like, that you think she's so fine and you want her, so you will fit in to get in. Oh, and we ain't going to even talk about that. Because I used to do that. I was good at that. Mind changes when it's clean. When it's actively clean, your mind grows and change. And thank God for change. Y'all stay safe. I enjoyed you tonight. I thank God for everyone. I've been busy this week. And I love it when I'm busy. And I thank God I didn't use this week. I thank God I didn't use this week. Y'all hear what I said? Y'all think I be playing, but hey, I thank God every day that I don't pick up. Because I was a hot mess. We was a hot mess when we call ourselves using. Right, Ralph? We know. Pam know. Carmen know. Stella know. Dex know. I thank God for it. For His amazing grace. Guess what? Guess what? Guess what, y'all? Sunday. And I've been really studying this one. We step 3. We made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. God bless you. Thank y'all for tonight. Thank y'all for coming on here. I hope I blessed somebody, said something that you can use to help another individual. Because I know some of y'all friends is going through. You know somebody else is going through. So, when you come on here, you send people's on here, they can get something out of it. I work the steps. I find, let me tell you the reason why I started working the steps. I started working the steps because a lot of people couldn't read. If I showed you all the text message that are pieces, I don't know how to read. I don't want to be trying to go over the steps, and I'm ashamed to tell people I can read, and I don't know how to work the steps. I don't have a connection with God. I don't know about God. So I go through the steps to help the ones that cannot read, or help the ones who don't know how to work the steps. Everybody can work their steps. When it all come to the same point, you're all going to be on the same key. Everybody talk different. Everybody speak different. Everybody intellect different. So I do the best I can. I ain't perfect, but I'm better. I ain't perfect, but I'm better. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that. And I thank God for grace. I thank God for wisdom. I thank God for knowledge. I thank God for hope. I thank God for faith. I thank God for love, and I thank God because He is God, the God of my understanding. Thank the NA program has been good to me, good to all the peoples all over the world. I wish a lot of my family members and a whole lot of people had knew about the 12 Steps program. They probably would still be here today. God bless you. Do something nice and kind for somebody else today. Tell somebody before the night is over with that you love them. Because they might need to hear that. I'm telling y'all, I love y'all. See y'all Sunday at 2 o'clock. And God's grace has been good. Good night. Bless you.